All right, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's look at my history. Look at my thing and see what we're talking about today. We're talking about Marvel United, and we're going to go and check out this sweet game. All right, so now this game right here is Marvel United, as you see here on the table. We're going to be playing against a villain. Each game is 6 locations, 1 villain, and we have to fill or solve missions to allow us to then defeat the villain. Now, it depends on the villain you're playing. So sometimes the villain can be someone as simple as Red Skull or simple as Claw, who just wants to attack and attack and attack. But in this case, Immortus, Franklin Richards, one of the Fantastic Four's sons, or son, and a variant of that, he actually has something different. So Immortus himself, he is a variant of Kang. So if you've seen the comics or seen the movies, you know that he loves interloping through the multiverses and conquering and controlling the different locations and the different peoples. Well, this one is no different, but one thing. He basically decided he didn't want to conquer them. He wanted to just basically rule them through going into limbo and controlling the perfect timeline. So if you've seen Loki season 2, then you've definitely seen or understand kind of the Immortus idea. There's a timeline that he is trying to create, and he'll do anything and stop at anything to make that happen. So with that, you have this villain who you set up. And so it says here, to set up this game, you're going to set aside the Infinity Watch Assemble card, this one right here, and then the Master Plan card, and place it on top of the deck after shuffling it. Well, I mean, I have it right here. It doesn't much matter. It's going to show up first, so we already know it, so I'm just going to play it right there. It doesn't much matter. And then this game cannot be played basically team versus team mode. All right, so with that said, we're going to place this guy right here down on this dashboard. It's always going to be there. It's going to show us what we have to play or what we have to do and what happens during these special times and the special rules that apply to this villain. Now, the special rules will say here certain things that dictate this person. Here, let me move this off of here so you guys can see it a little better there. All right. And so it says here, heroes cannot damage Immortus. And when a hero is KO'd or they lose all of their cards in their hand, normally they have a stack of 3 cards in their hand, but they can have more and they can have less, obviously. When you have no more, you're KO'd. And you put your guy down, and then you stand him back up when you are at the your next turn. So as you look here, Immortus doesn't activate his BAM. Normally you would activate this if you went down and got KO'd. Instead, you draw a Master Plan card. So the villain is going to win, right, if he can draw all his cards in this big pile here before the heroes can win their heroic goal. Again, his idea is creating this timeline, right? Creating this ideal, setup for his universe, his multiverse. So, looking here, we're going to add it face down to the timeline. Just going fast, right? Oops, I'm not sure why that is so, why is that here? It's so weird. Let me fix that. As you can imagine, this is my first time doing the stream, so I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to see that anymore. All right, so, bam. Each one of these cards right here are going to have a couple of items, and they're going to show up, and they'll say a BAM. BAM is something like that's bad for the villain, and you can see it also on these cards right here. So with that, when the BAM happens, these items on this card will also occur. So these items, if you're there, will also happen. So it's good to not be in those locations when that occurs. We'll see that what happens when it happens there. But for him, you're going to discard one of the civilians or thugs or civilians from Immortus' location. And then for each token discarded this way, remove 1 token from the corresponding mission. And if it's still not completed. So basically, this mission right here, the Tachyon Field Generator. That one right there is going to be something where you're going to want to make sure you complete it in its entirety as much as you can, because as long as this threat is in play, heroes can't place the last civilian, thug, or mission token on the corresponding mission card. Okay, so they must discard it instead. So you want to get this out pretty much first, right? Because you want to get the threat out, and then you can start going through and getting rid of this. Okay, so the way we win is if the heroes complete all 3 of these missions. Okay, so that's the main goal. Let's make that our main focus for this game. We randomly place him. I'm going to say he will start at the TVA headquarters. Why not? The heroes we're going to go with are Black Panther, Shuri. It's a really cool model. Hopefully it looks as good as it is in live through the Oculus. I haven't actually seen this video. Hopefully it's not horrendous. That would be pretty weird. And then we have Dagger, and I haven't painted her, but I have primed her to get painted. She, of course, accompanies perfectly with Dagger. And Dagger, my son painted, so he was easy because he's basically just all black and shadows. And then lastly is going to be Ironheart, Riri Williams, that new generation of Iron Man. All right. And then, of course, our Immortus. That's his mini right there. So it's kind of cool. Game's all about painting and doing the minis and, of course, owning as many cards as possible. All right, so with that said, we're ready to go. I'm just going to play the cards down here on this table. Hopefully, again, you all can see this well enough. If not, then whoops, that sucks. All right, so the first card always will be the villain. And then we will pick a starting player, and we'll kind of go down the line. I usually, when I play solo, I play with 4 players just to add the added benefit of seeing all the different people. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Each round will consist of 3 heroes. And then after you've completed the first villain's mission, the villain will act after every 2 heroes. So you want to make sure you're ready to go. All right. So Immortus. Take the card off the deck. I've already shuffled this, but just to show you that I have. Here, give it a little shuffle. All right, great. All right, this guy is the starting master plan. So it's the Infinity Watch Assemble. Discard all civilians and thugs from Immortus' location. So he's actually going to go 3 steps over to where we are and discard all of those people, right? And then he's going to put down these civilians in this location. So he's going to go from here, 1, 2, 3, over to Avengers Tower. And then he's going to discard all of the civilians, which is only 1. And I'll just put it in a pile here. And then we're going to place down 2 civilians in each location next to him. So I'll go ahead and pick these up here. So 1, 2, and it looks like we're already going to overflow. You'll see that because overflowing means we can't place another person in this New York police headquarters. There's 4 spots there. So overflow says to us, if 1 or more tokens cannot be placed to location, draw a master playing card and add it face down in the storyline. So we're already starting out pretty rough there, not being able to add that to there. So we're going to take one of these and we're just going to add it to the storyline. There's nothing else that's going to happen, so we'll just put it there. No biggie. All right, so that's it. That's the villain's turn. And they didn't bam. You would see the bam card there. Okay, and so basically, our main thing will be to try to get as many of these guys off as possible. Right, this one first, because as long as this threat card is in play, the heroes cannot place the last token for that one. Of the missions. And we definitely don't want to get stuck getting a BAM card against these, what they are as other universes heroes. And these universe's heroes, which are Annihilus, Star Fox, Captain Marvel, Yondu, and Silver Surfer, don't think of them as bad guys. In this sense, I'm thinking that Immortus is pulling out these different characters from the different universe to fight us, to try to keep their timeline correct. Again, think that Loki season 2, where you see a lot of different variants trying to keep their universe stable and not eliminated. If it bam, Silver Surfer, move Silver Surfer clockwise to the location, to the next location with any heroes and no threat, if possible. Regardless, deal 2 damage to one hero in his location. So that's not good. So he's going to definitely do some serious damage to our guys there, and he needs 5 tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see, 5. Perfect. All right, cool. So Shuri, 3 cards. We'll look at her cards here. All right, shielding, not bad. Draw 1 card, or treat the heroic symbol on this card as a wild, and recharge your hand. Recharge your hard light shield equipment. We don't have that, so that second part, not even that worth it. So we're just gonna do shielding, draw 1 card, or Gifted Strategist, reveal the top 2 cards of the Master Plan deck. You may either put one at the bottom of the deck or place them back in any order. Okay, so I like that. That's a good one for strategizing. Give 1 wild token from the pool to another hero, then draw until they have 3 cards in hand. And then, so that's a good one to keep for health-wise. If somebody gets to health down, you can draw up and you can keep them healthy. So 3 cards is good. That's full of health. And then a move, heroic. So I really do like the idea of these 2 cards. It's one of these 2 cards we're going to go with. And the reason why is giving a move to somebody is awesome, but we also want to do the heroic. The heroic is the most important right now. I do like the draw 1 card. That gives her extra health. So let's do that. We're going to draw 1 card, do the heroic. So we're going to place it down here. That's 1 hero. And so then we'll just take the heroic token, and then we'll place it down there. Simple as that. Next turn. All right, Dagger. I have not played Dagger before. I just unlocked him in the campaign. So as you can see, it's kind of a good tandem to have Cloak and Dagger. So one of the cards is Light Force Generation. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with 2 or more cards in your hand before the draw step, you may immediately perform a free heroic in your location. I love that, especially for this one. That's not bad at all. I'm not sure how much use we're going to get out of that, because if we focus on her, heroic right now, we might be able to get that heroic done by this whole turn, right? So I'm not sure if that's perfect, because heroes might not be there, but maybe we'll check it out. So maybe we'll play that one down just so that we have it ready to go. As long as this is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with 2 or more cards in hand, you immediately perform a free heroic in your location. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's go ahead and put that down. We do get the card before and this bottom. So the bottom part of this card and then the other bottom down below for the other hero. So that's why you're kind of tag teaming those 2 cards together. So let's take a look. That's going to be heroic and move. Now we're not going to move anywhere just yet, most likely. Okay, so that's 2 heroic, or that's 2 stars on there to complete that tachyon field generator. Now, do I want to move anywhere to try and get these off for the next turn? I don't want her to get injured. I could put her over here. So this one's going to move Silver Surfer clockwise to the next location with any hero and no threats, if possible. And then, regardless, deal 2 damage to 1 hero in his location. So he's going to move. This card is moving with his health to the next location, right? So that's important to note. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. And no threat. So currently we have threat on everyone, so he's going to stay there. Sorry, I just had to read the rule there because I need to understand it. I'm not going to move her there. What's this one say? Each hero in this and both adjacent locations. Let's put this in closer so I can read it here. Each hero in this and both adjacent locations must cancel with a crisis token one symbol on the bottom of their latest card in the story timeline. And so it says a crisis must with a crisis token on the bottom there. I'm actually not really. I'm kind of confused by that one. On the bottom of their latest must cancel with a crisis token one symbol on the bottom of their card. Ignores 1 damage each hero turn. I'm not really understanding this Annihilus card. Crisis token. 1 symbol on the bottom of their latest card in the storyline. Interesting. So, cancel must with a crisis token. So I'm thinking you either get one. I guess. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of with that one. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this and both locations. If at least 1 hero was damaged this way, Star Fox can't be. If at least 1 hero, Star Fox can't be damaged until the next villain turn. Got it. So basically, do not want to be in these 3 locations when he bams. Captain Marvel, deal 2 damage to 1 hero in each adjacent location. If a hero, so you want to be in her location when it bams, because if it does, then each hero, if a hero deals more than 1 damage, basically she's going to damage 2 here. He's going to damage to these 3. He is going to move as much as he can to the next available area, but if possible, he's going to deal 2 damage to a hero in his location. So in his location to the adjacents there, and then Yondu, each hero in this and both adjacents must discard 1 action token or take 1 damage. So your action tokens being, these ones right here. All right. All right. So with that, looking ahead, I think we're going to keep Dagger there. I don't see any reason to move her. All right, Cloak. You can see it's got the same kind of card art, similar to Dagger there. All right, so Dark Force Teleportation. You have, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, you can use the move to your you can use move token or an icon to move to any location. If Dagger is in your location, she can move with you. So basically, you can just move. That's awesome. You can move to anywhere you want as long as this is face up in that location. I do like that because then if you team up together, you can get them. Dark Force Channeling, remove both Cloak and a henchman in this location from play. At the beginning of your next turn, put them in any location with no threat and deal 2 damage to that henchman. Wow, that is sweet. So essentially it removes you from the game, right? And then you put them in any location once you're ready to go. That's pretty sweet. I'm going to actually play this one down. And I'm going to put these 2 here so that I can see that they're always in play. Normally I wouldn't do that, but these are like the always in play cards. Okay. And so that means we're going to have a heroic plus a move. We're not going to move. We want to stay with Dagger there. All right. So we need 1 more heroic for that to really kick in. We've done 3 heroics. We're going to now play next card. All right, he moves 3 and then bams. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Which of course his bam card says discard 1 and one, so thug and civilian, from Immortus' location. For each token discarded this way, remove one token from the corresponding mission if still not completed. So there's nothing there. We haven't done anything, so we just remove that. No biggie there. And this is where it's going to get a little complicated because we kind of have to look at these here to see where they move. He doesn't move on his BAM because there's filled targets. He doesn't have anything because no one's nearby to adjacents. This one has it where each hero in this and both adjacent locations must cancel with a crisis token one symbol on the bottom of their latest card in the storyline. Annihilus ignores 1 damage from each hero this turn. Okay, so I'm thinking with a crisis token. Oh, just with a crisis token. So we're just going to take it. I'm just looking into it too much. All right, so we take our crisis token. It's one of these guys here. We're just going to take it, and we're just going to basically make it so that you can't see it like that. Simple enough. All right. All right, back to it. Next up, Riri Williams. Let's see how we do it. All right, so Tech Genius. To punch, we do like this. So we're actually going to probably do this one here. The Tech Genius card is pretty good. So this turn, you may treat your heroics as wilds or gain 1 token. So we don't need to treat that heroic as a wild. We can just gain 1 heroic, which is great for us to have. So I'm going to put that card down there. We don't get it because, remember, Cloak has that current thing where it's blocking it for this turn, right, from the storyline. So that doesn't exist, right, to take from. So right now, all we have is this 1 heroic. So we're going to take this token to show that Riri's got it. And so 1 heroic, we'll finish that off. So this actually is great. So we've completed this threat right here. I usually just put the threat cards here and then take one of these threat icons and tell ourselves we are 1 step away. Great. So since we've unlocked that threat, we can now get an end of turn possible good thing effect. So it says you may search your deck for 1 card and set it aside. Then shuffle your deck, place that card on top. So the Avenger Tower is a good one to stop in because at the end of her turn, which it will be now, she can go in and look at a card and then put it to the top. So right now I'm probably going to go and grab her wild card, take that out. All right. And then place this one on top, knowing full well that that card's going to come up on the next turn. All right, so the next of the 3, we'll get Black Panther. All right. So now we need to go in and start saving people, right? And not dying, right? We need to start taking out. Silver Surfer might be the next guy to take out. Let's see. Give 1 token from the pool to another hero. Then draw until they have 3 cards in hand. Okay. Right now we're sharing a heroic. So that's good to know. All right. Then draw until they have 3 cards in hand. I don't really like too much of these because it's all about heroic, but I think we need to go and move. So I'm going to say we're going to do the move heroic. So if we do that, the move heroic plus heroic. So we have 2 heroics plus a move. So Riri's going to go from, Shiri is going to go 1 here and 2 heroic, which will go to this location. We need to get 9 of rescues and defeat thugs to clear off that threat or that mission. So let's hopefully see if we can get that going. Now, before we draw, that's the main thing, is this one here, the Life Force Generator, says as long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with 2 or more cards in hand, you may immediately perform a free star in your location. It doesn't help right now because we don't have any civilians to save with that heroic action, but we can definitely go ahead and try that. So we're going to take this here. All right. All right, so Light Force Purge. Turn up to 2 thug in your location into civilians, then rescue them. That's a pretty smooth way of figuring out that. That's awesome. Bond, if Cloak is in your location, he may draw cards until they have 3. So that's a good one to save Cloak from carding out, right, to go KO. Right now, this might be the card to play. Move, then punch. Because then we can move twice. We can actually play this out here. So we take this, move them once. Okay. Hit this one. So we play this down, right? Because we're using the card below, which is Black Panther. So move, punch. Takes that one, puts it here. And then we can actually utilize that heroic as well to take down or to rescue that civilian. Okay. We have an extra move. I'm a little worried a little bit. I could move back to Cloak to make sure we can move however we want, right? Knowing that we're going to give him a move punch. And that might be the way to go, actually, is to move back to him, stay together, because these guys work better here. Oh, thanks, Ashley. I see that in chat, though. Love the background. Well, I tried my best. It also hides our, the outside of our basement that I'm playing in. So, try to keep that clean. Hopefully it doesn't look terrible. Let's see. It's probably vomit-inducing with the way I move my head. So, all right. Let's see here. All right. So we played our 3 cards. We've moved Dagger back. At the end, we can search a card, right? Because we're in the Avengers Tower. I'm going to look and see what we got. I think that Double Wild is always a saucy card to pick, so we're going to take that one out. We're going to shuffle it. Don't drop every card on the ground. Great. Put that card on top. All right. All right, let's go to Immortus. Oh, he's going to move 1. Of course he is, a little Dirk. All right. Bam, and move 1. So he's going to bam, so discard all of them. So he's going to take this guy out. You're going to discard this thug, and then for each token discard this way, you're going to remove 1 from the corresponding mission. So that sucks. Stopping the heroes. Add 1 thug to every location except for his location. Okay, so he's putting back a thug in this one here. So he's adding people from there to stop us, and he overflows there. That kind of sucks. We can't put down a place here, so we have to then draw a card from his master plan deck and put it down here. That really is this is gonna be a very tough game because he's probably gonna beat us. And then we have to bam. So here's the deal. Not a problem with Yondu. He is gonna bam. He's gonna do 2 damage to 1 hero in his location. So Shuri is gonna have to take away 2 of their cards here. I'm gonna take away that one and this one. We want to keep this one to try to heal anybody else who gets damaged. We're going to place those cards down below, and they go onto their deck. All right, so question is, what happens to that Master Plan card? So the Master Plan card, so his gimmick is you discard... overflow is if you can't add a thug or civilian token to a location, which we had a problem here, we draw a Master Plan card and add it face down in the storyline. So basically, we don't see that card, and also he just speeds up his process, right? So it's just trying to get through his deck. Because remember, if we basically play all of these cards, he plays them, then he wins. And so he's just trying to speed through. So we don't want it to overflow, and we're definitely overflowing a lot. It's definitely going to be a loss tonight. It's not going to be a win. All right, so 2 damage has already been done to Shuri. This one kind of sucks because it's the Annihilus says in each hero in the location and both must cancel with a crisis token. So we're going to take the crisis token here. Okay. Now I have to take a crisis token, and all I'm going to do is look at this card right here and say one of these symbols has to be covered by this crisis token, making it so that the person before can't play it. So let's see here. We're going to have move be gone. So if you see that, so now when we play our next card for Cloak as the next hero, we're going to take him and we're going to, we can't utilize that second icon, which totally sucks. All right. All done. Let's go to Cloak. He's got 3 cards, +1 for his 4. It says here, though, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, you can use a move to move it to any location. If Dagger is in your location, she can move with you. Woohoo! All right, so they're in the same location, and we can use a move icon to move to any location and move Cloak with us, which is pretty sweet. All right. So I say we use that move icon and we do some punching here. Okay. All right. So we have the punch plus a move. So we can move in any shape that we need to. Okay. We're here. I'm not worried about overflow at the Avengers Tower. I am worried about this one here continually overflowing. So we should move with Cloak or with Dagger to here. And then do 2 damage. So we can do 2 damage. So instead of moving, so first we're going to do 1 damage to this guy. Take out this thug. Move together. And then do our second attack, which then we'll put 2 there. Okay. Now it's going to be Shuri, Black Panther. Grab a card. Oh, look, we have our double wild. Yay, us. Not great. Okay. All right, so we have the double, we have the move and punch. Because we're going to need to solve these bad guys here. And we have a double. There's no one else that's really like that needs health. So this lab card isn't really worth it. So we're going to play down the double wild. We need to get Shuri to have some health, because if not, she'll go down and have a problem here. Move punch plus a double wild. So Yondu has the lowest amount of health here with 3, and so does Star Fox. So I would say move. A henchman entering play in this location has 2 extra health, may go above. Okay, so he didn't enter this play. He's just there. So he's not entering play. So we're going to say Yondu here has 3 health. They're going to move there with that move, and then they're going to play 3. They're actually going to take out Yondu, that threat card, and we're going to put the health here. Great. And that sale helps us out with Monster Isle. So that gives us the end of turn, because this is going to be the end of turn for Black Panther. You may deal 1 damage to 1 henchman in any location. You may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to deal them 1 extra. So that's pretty sweet. So with that, I'm going to actually say we didn't damage Annihilus ignores 1 damage each hero turn. So we don't want to do that one because that'll just negate that 1 damage here. Captain Marvel is really strong. It's she's a 5. But Star Fox, if we got rid of him, we could, slowly chip away at theirs. So let's do that. So I'm going to take away his health for 1 using this end of turn. So that's our second hero there. And our third one's going to be Dagger, and hopefully we can get some good shots here onto a Nihilus. All right, well, we did have our two wilds, but first, before we look at that card, so we already knew that was going to be there, just remember that we have the Light Force generation as long as this card is in place. If you start your turn with 2 or more cards in hand, look at that, we have 3. You might immediately perform a free heroic in your location, which is phenomenal. All right, so we take this one, move it here. Great, so that takes away that one. And then we're going to draw our card and play 2 heroics, or 2 wilds. So we have 4 wilds now. He's going to discard one of those, or one of those damages. We're going to take this and place him out. He's going to be out. He has 3. We do 4 damage. See you later, Nihilus. All done. No more of those ridiculous things. And then it says here, you may discard one bad guy from any location. So that's not a bad idea to try to chip away. We don't need to necessarily. I could get rid of this one, right? Let's see. Do I have to? Let's see. Yeah, we could possibly put down. We could probably take one off of the Valley of the Sleeping Dragon, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to say we don't need to because we need to start gathering these thugs and taking them out. So we're good there. We've played our cards. All right. Next up, Immortus. Here we go. So Immortus is going to go. Please don't bam. He bams. All right, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Of course he would. And all right. So his bam card is discard all of them. So that's 2. 1, 2. We'll take off 2. 1, 2. And then his BAM one says here, so for the BAM, this one will move. Silver Surfer will actually move this turn to the clockwise to the next location with any heroes and no threat. So he's going to move here to Riri. And then Riri's going to take 2 damage. Is that correct? Yeah. That is really brutal. Okay. So we'll take our 2 punch because we want to keep those 2 punches. We like that. Those double icons. So that one's that. Deal 1 damage to a hero in this one and both adjacent locations. If at least one hero is damaged this way, Star Fox cannot be damaged until the next villain turn. That sucks. So Dagger will take damage. Okay. I really like this one here. Problem is that this one, I want to keep Bond so I can heal him up because he's going to take he's going to take a damage here as well. And we're going to take that one out. Okay. All right, so we're safe. Oh, take 2 damage for Shuri, and Shuri is now downed because she took 2 damage. So from Captain Marvel's 2 damage to 1 hero in each location. So with that, draw a MasterCard and add it face down to the storyline. Yeah, he is probably going to beat us this one. We just have not made enough moves there. 1, 2, 3. I do have to add a couple of threat cards here. Okay. All right. So we have those 3 here. Next up is going to be, so it was Black Panther, then Dagger, now it's going to be Cloak. So we have our Dark Force channeling. We can remove Cloak and Dagger in this location from play at the beginning of your next turn. We put them back into the location, so that's not bad. love that idea, because then that way they deal 2 damage. We can get them into the location that we like. Unfortunately, we need to get him to move there, right? So we're actually going to use a move icon here. We're going to take him. We're going to take that, because he has that Dark Force teleportation. He's going to actually move from here with Cloak, do 2 damage, so 2 punches with the wilds. He's moved, and then we're actually going to remove both Cloak and a henchman in his location from play. So we're going to take a Cloak and henchman from play. So they're gone from the play field, basically, at this point. Okay? At the beginning of your next turn, put them in any location with no threat and deal 2 damage to that henchman. Sweet. So that'll significantly take out Star Fox. Completely gone, which is awesome. So, it's good. All right. 1 card for Riri. All right. Wild and 2 punch. Here we are. So 5, is that what we're looking at? 1, 2, is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a move plus 2 punch and then a heroic. I gotta say, we are really in a pickle here. We play down the 2 wilds. There's no point in doing 2 punches. We need to probably chip away at this Silver Surfer. But I'm not too worried about his... I'm more worried about his damage to our guys. We just don't have enough baddies to get onto our card here. We need to have 5 left. And we have 1, 2, 3. That's enough. And we don't even have nearly enough civilians. You know, we need 7, and we have 1 on the field. We're 1 on the big game board right here. So yeah, let's go ahead and take 2 damage off for Silver Surfer, which will leave us with 3 left on his card, and then we can move him. So we can move Riri over to here, and we can take Silver Surfer with this one. You may move a henchman to this location and deal 1 damage to them. So we're actually going to do that end of turn. Move Silver Surfer back to Project Pegasus, and then it'll add 1 damage back to them. So that's not a bad idea. That saves us a little bit. Okay, so now he is down to 2 health. Sweet goodness, can we get something going here? All right, so Immortus went, Cloak and Dagger, or Cloak went, Riri went for Ironheart, and then that's going to leave us with Shuri, who will stand back up and then draw her 3 cards plus her draw card. All right, so... All right. We need to move and punch. So we have 2 wilds from Ironheart. And we could definitely use a little bit of help to get those guys on there. So let's do a move and punch. Okay, let's do that. That'll help us out. So if we do a move and punch, we can punch here first. That'll solidify getting us 1 more extra. We need 4. And then we can move to this location and then use the 2 wilds to take out Silver Surfer, and that will complete that. Now, the only problem with this one, as you can see, we are now fully complete with our threats. So that actually takes away that threat mission. We have completed that mission, which is great. But now the villain acts after every 2 hero cards. So it really frustrates us because we're now, instead of having 3 heroes to go, we got to go with 2. But we did get our 3 full on this turn, so that's good. All right, so now it's going to be Immortus to go. Probably got like 1 or 2 more turns. So, all right, influencing events. he does not move. He bams, which means he would discard all of those tokens here, but he doesn't have any civilians or thugs. We've cleared him out of the New York police headquarters. Good thing is, though, he does add 2 civilians and 2 2 thugs to the locations next to him. Influencing events. Each hero swaps their earliest and latest face-up hero cards in the storyline. All right, so influencing the events. All right, so each hero does it. So, Cloak. All right, so what does it say here? Each hero swaps their earliest and their latest face-up hero cards in the storyline. Okay, so we're going to take is Black Panther puts down this card. All right, we've done Black Panther. Okay, Black Panther has gone and done their thing. Cloak and Dagger will then take their cards and swap them, which would be this card and this card. Okay. And then we have Ironheart. So Black Panther and then Dagger. And then Cloak. Where does Cloak go? He goes Ironheart, Dagger. So it goes Dagger. Then it goes Cloak. Okay. And now Ironheart will swap their card, which is, oh my gosh, where am I going? Let's see, right here. Not great. Not great. Not great. All right, so we have now swapped all of those cards on the timeline. Okay, so our timeline has been changed thanks to Immortus. And now it's okay, right? Dagger, Cloak, Ironheart. Oops. Okay, there we go. Wow. Well, that was confusing. All right, and then we put on the two guys here. So he's gonna have a guy here, and then 2 baddies, thugs, over here and over here. So that will actually help us complete that mission here and the civilians. But the BAM cards are going to be hard here. So deal 2 damage to 1 hero in each location or adjacent locations. That's actually going to be Dagger. She's going to deal 2 damage, so she'll actually be taken out, KO'd. Womp womp. That sucks because I think that puts us at like 1 more card buried there, and we don't have any other guys out there on the in the threat because Star Fox is currently being gathered by Cloak in another area, another dimension. Okay, so that's our BAM. Now it's going to be let's see, Black Panther just went, so then it should be Dagger's turn. Yeah. Yep. So hey, look at that. We're gonna put her back up, deal 3 cards, and then draw 1 card. So you normally have 3 and then +1. All right. So we didn't have, before we did the draw phase, right? We draw the 3 cards, and then we do 1 draw extra. She still has that light force generation, which means that she has taken 3 cards, and then you do, if you start your turn with 2 or more cards in hand before the draw step, you may immediately perform a free heroic in her area. There is no reason to do heroic, so we don't actually have to worry about that right now. Okay, so Light Force Daggers punch against up to 3 targets in your location. Really saucy, real saucy. All right, but we only have 2 people, so that's not, I don't like that 100% because I want to be able to use all 3, and that would be perfect. But 1, 2, it's not bad. We do have a heroic, so we may want to get down to here if we can. So maybe a move heroic or a move punch. So let's do that. let's do a move punch. Play that down. Okay. So we're going to do move, punch. Let's not put that down. And then we'll do a heroic to save that, rescue that civilian. And that'll be their turn. Now, Cloak is going to actually come back onto the field. His card that we played was this right here, which was at the beginning of your next turn, put them in any location with no threat and deal 2 damage to that henchman. So we got to pick one that we really like. And I do like this one because then we can start doing some punches to get that done. Right? We just get free punching on that one. As much as I would like this one, I don't really care about any henchmen because we're not going to have any really to be scared about. Or do we? Let's see. Do we have any? We have 2 wilds. Ooh, that's good. All right, let's go here. So we're going to go back in here. He does 2 damage to Star Fox. That's the last 2 of his. So now Star Fox is done. Okay. We are so close. We are so close. Because remember, all we have to do is complete the missions. That's all our goal is. All right. So we have 2 cards. Draw a card. We get a wild, and then it says if Dagger is in your location, she may draw cards until there are 3 in her hand. We can do that bond at any time, but she basically already has 3, so there's no point in doing that now. I might want to do this one. That would take away this, but I'm not too worried about her. I'm going to do Cloak's 2 wilds. So we're going to do 2 punches. 1, 2. We have a move, which since if you see, where is it at? There it is. As long as this card is face up, which it is, you can use the move icon to move any location. If Dagger's in your location, she can move too. So I'm actually going to take this, move him over to Project Pegasus, take that, and remove that thug. Sweet. So we have now successfully taken out that mission card. All right, we are 1 mission away. We are not going to get it because there is 3. We need 6. And as you can see, we have 2 people here. So unless he starts just spouting out tons of different civilians, we're just going to basically time out, which is unfortunate. But we still keep pushing forward. It says you may move a henchman to this location and deal 1 damage to them, which I will happily do, just so I can deal the damage. So we're going to take this and move that one, deal 1 damage. Now, her power is that she does retaliation. If a hero deals more than 1 damage to Captain Marvel during their turn, that hero takes 1 damage. We just dealt 1, so that's not a big problem at all. All right, so we've done our turn. We only get to have 2 heroes to play now, so it's going to be Immortus' turn. All right, so 4, 2, 3, 4. Hey, look at that. He bams. There is no people here. And then, as you can see here, her power is to deal 2 damage to one location to 1 hero adjacent to her location. So she doesn't do anything. This is our problem. They're adding 1 thug to every location except Immortus. We don't have any civilians. We need to get more civilians to do that. So we're going to place that there, 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 and here, and 1 last one. Okay. All right. All right. Well, we can only do as much as we can, as much as Immortus is giving us. Let's get those cards dropped there. Okay. All right. Up next, Ironheart. All right, Ironheart, we need a heroic. You gave it to us. Look at us go. We're crushing it. We're going to get so close, but we're not going to be able to do it. All right, so we have 2 wilds and 2 heroic. So we will move. Using the wild, we'll move. And then we will do 2 heroic. 1, 2. And then we will use the extra wild to take out this baddie. And end of turn, you may search your deck for 1 card, set it aside, then shuffle. So I will gladly do that. Is there one that just basically creates civilians? That'd be really nice. All right, let's do... We need a bunch of the heroics. So let's do move heroic. Let's do that one. Is there a move heroic in here? Yeah, there is. All right. Okay. All right, next up. Draw a card. All right, so we are going to... We could probably use drawing a card here. That would be nice. So Shuri's right here. We have 2 heroic, and there's just nothing to do with the heroic. I'm basically stuck here. Let's do a move punch. That way it at least gives a move. I love the idea of drawing a card, but we're just not going to get to that point. These got 2 cards left. We need to set ourselves up somehow with movement to do those heroic actions. So I'll punch, and I'll do 1 punch on Captain Marvel. And then move. I mean, I actually don't mind being where I'm at. I hate to say it, but we'll see here. You may deal 1 damage to 1 henchman. You may discard a card from your hand to deal with them, deal 1 extra more. So let's do that. Let's actually use the move function of this one here. Go here, deal 1 damage to a henchman. And that will leave us with 2 hits left. I honestly don't really care too much, so let's just go ahead and try it. Let's just go out with a bang. Let's do 2 more damage, right? Or oh no, it's just 1. Okay, I can only discard 1. Okay, so let's discard 1 more card to allow us to deal 1 more damage to get Captain Marvel as close as possible using the end of turn. Black Panther did not deal the damage, right? This one did. Okay. At least that's how I see it. The monster Isle did it. All right, so please add 4 civilians. Ah, 2. Gosh dang it. All right, so moves 4 and bams. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no card to take away from, but he bams. Okay. And then each hero swaps their earliest and latest. I hate that card. It is more of a problem than it is. It's more annoying than it is actually cool. Okay. Ironheart, you are right here. Okay. Cloak and Dagger. And Dagger. Super annoying. Okay. All right, so that's moved. We got 2 guys coming here. Okay, and 2 baddies going there. All right, let's go solve this rescue. We got to rescue these 2 civilians and then pray that there are 2, that there are, before he draws out. So like he can draw this card, but the moment he cannot draw a master plan card, I lose. So we are going to try and see if we can get 2 more civilians on this card. We have to. Okay, so who is next? It was Black Panther, so now it's going to be Dagger with 2 cards. There we go. We have a punch and a move. So we need to, we need to move Oh, I'm so sorry. Just remember we had 3 cards in our hand, so as long as this card is face up in the storyline, if you start your turn with 2 cards, you may immediately perform a free heroic in your location. Nothing there. Great. All right. We're going to move and heroic. So there is no punching here. We are going to move and then let me discard. Oh my heck. I literally just realized this Valley of the Sleeping Dragon says here at the end of the turn you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck and turn one of the bad guys here into a civilian to delay the next villain turn by 1 card. All right, well we would have won already then because like we were so close already. All right, so 1 heroic, so we're placing here. So we're going to take our heroic to rescue this guy. We're not going to use the attack. We're going to end our turn and bury a card here. We're going to take discard 1 card from our hand to turn one of these guys to delay into a civilian to delay the next villain turn by 1 card. So let's do that then. Let's take this one and we'll do a wild, I guess. I don't know. Let me see. We actually don't care about this one. All right, so we're going to take that card. That then turns this one into a civilian. And then it delays the next villain turn by 1 card. So my assumption is that then lets us play another card or another person. So like we can, right? Villain by 1 card. My assumption is it's like 1 more turn. Right? So her turn's done. Let's go to Cloak. He can teleport using this one because his card still is in play. That allows you to use the move to move to any location. So we're going to do that. So we're going to move to the Valley of the Sleeping Dragon. We're then going to use our 2 heroic. Oh, we are so fetching close. Goodness gracious. We would have totally have won this one had I actually looked at this probably. All right. So we can do 1 more move. Is that what we're one more because we delayed this by 1 turn, 1 card. So Ironheart can go from here. Can draw 1 here. Let's see. We want to make sure we do a move to add it because the next person who's going to be Shuri is right here. We want to make sure they can at least attempt to get over to there, even though Dagger is definitely there. So we're going to play that. So Ironheart will move in heroic. There's not really much heroic that's going to happen here, but let's move to somewhere where it might be able to get them to a location that can help. So you may search your deck. I'm actually going to do this. 1, 2, using the 2 moves. And you may deal 1 damage to 1 henchman in any location. That will then take out Captain Marvel. And that will actually solve that one. Okay. Love that. Done. So that one's done. All right. Last card. We have to have some form of rescue or civilian on this one. And we do. All right, we might have this. We might have this, guys. All right, this would be insane. No movement. He bams. So there are no tokens, so he doesn't take anybody off. Thank the maker. Each hero takes all their face-up cards from the storyline, shuffles them, and places them on the bottom of their deck. Wait, hold on. Each hero takes all of their face-up cards from the storyline, shuffles them, and places them on the bottom of their deck. Oh my heck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Each hero takes all of their face-up cards. So, like, what in the world is going on here? So Cloak. I'm assuming this is what it is, right? Dagger, Black Panther, So we gotta basically restart it. That's all we're doing is restarting. They don't have, like, he basically just gives everybody all of their cards back, but that would then take away their benefit, right? Like her card of having the extra card, like the card that makes Cloak and Dagger really good, it would take away that face-up card, right? Oh my goodness, this is horrible. What is he doing to screw with the timeline? No wonder the TVA had to do the whole thing. All right, so we are... Okay, so we shuffle this. Is that right? Shuffles them and places them on the bottom of their deck. I mean, I guess we won't deck out. Oh, did I take... Oh, yeah, that's the starting card. Okay, so she now no longer has that good card that really helps out. All right. I don't know why I'm shuffling. It doesn't much matter. We're never going to get there. We have literally one turn left. It's up to, it literally at this point comes down to Shuri and Dagger, what their cards can do to get them to be able to do it. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I think we lost already. Guys, we lost. And the reason why, here it is. He has to put down 2. So with that, he has to put down 2 here, which is fine. No biggie there. But he can't put down 2 here. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got down to the very bottom. How in the world? Like the very last card. This one right here, I think I will say, this one right here was, I did not play this one correctly at least 2 times, where I could at least literally discarded a card. But boy, that is brutal. What a loss. All right, well, at this point, I think that is the end of the game there for us. So hopefully you enjoyed it. This is Marvel United playing against Immortus, and that was really a horrible loss, honestly. I will say it was not my favorite way to finish it, but nonetheless, it is what it is. And wow, okay, we are in a different city now at this point. Oh, that is weird. I don't like that. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll see you next time. All right.